and that was practical. Something broken down so simply and in one place that would mean that anyone could grasp it. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I'm never going to claim that I've had a tough life. In fact, even reflecting on my most difficult moments when compared to some people, it has probably been a charm. That being said, this book is about difficulties. So I have used my own life to examine how I dealt with those things, as well as looking at other people who have been through much, much worse. Personally, from right at the beginning of my learning journey, there were obstacles. I didn't find school particularly easy, and it wasn't until I was 24 and in teacher training that I realised I had a learning difficulty. As a result of this, a lot of my adult life has been looking back and making connections between behaviour and experience and what I know now. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. It was life-changing. It was positive in many ways. I was careful to avoid the medical school syndrome of diagnosing myself of every possible disorder or learning difficulty just because I'd been to a fascinating seminar at university. There are some crazy things your brain can do. So I tried very hard to stay open-minded about it all. But when I did the test, the results for dyslexia were very high, tipping into extreme. I was on the boundary of being an extreme dyslexic. At that point I thought, well, that now makes sense, and I totally get it. Nobody had put this label on me in school, and so, like many others, I had missed out on the extra support. But I remember thinking that I had done all right without it. I'd been to university through teacher training and had been coaching for coming up to almost a decade, so I must have been doing something right. It was a realisation that I just had to work really hard. And while things might have taken me longer than they perhaps did for others, that was okay. And in fact, it was actually becoming a bit of a theme. There are lots of things in my life where I've used what could be regarded as a potential negative to instead be a springboard to learn and to get better, and to face uncertainty and demonstrate resilience. I'm not talking life-threatening stuff that others have had to face, but regular, everyday difficult stuff. I suppose my life is a testament to that too. I've never been brilliant at anything. Genuinely, my skill set is tiny, absolutely tiny. But I know what I can do, and I know how to use those elements to better myself. The point is that I've got this passion and absolute unwavering belief that whatever the situation you're in, you can find stuff and leverage yourself and come through it and be better and move forward, and life will go on. We'll find a path. We'll wrestle as long as we're not scared of suffering. As my good mate Mickey Mellon says, you've got to suffer. If you're not worried about suffering, we'll be all right. And that's how this book has evolved. There has been a lot of good stuff throughout my experiences. There have also been some challenges. I would say my departure from the school I was head teacher of was one of the hardest. My first book, Educating Drew, covered a lot of those wonderful experiences, but not so much of the ending. The ending was the hardest because it didn't just affect me. Yes, there was a me element to it, but when something like that happens, you can see it is catastrophic. Harrop Fold in Little Hulton was my life. At the very least, it was a major part of my life. I adored the area, I adored the school, I adored the staff. I was completely head over heels for the students. They were just amazing. And when somebody came along with what I perceived to be unfair accusations, it was an earth-shattering moment. It wasn't just a set of clouds that had landed. We were talking lightning, thunder, the full hit.